Welcome! Saturday night in the cornfields of Indiana! Woo! So yeah, I'm taking my shit to a whole new level, y'all. I don't know if you've noticed lately. Seen a lot more content from me. Opened a whole new channel. Halloweener, Wiener TV will always be strong. I do not forget my roots no matter how far I go in this life. Got all kinds of shows. I gotta it's crazy. I'm just gonna go bam, bam, bam. And it's like, what's it called? Pilot season for Wiener TV. So bam, bam, bam. We're gonna have all these shows. And then I'm gonna decide what deserves more nurturing and maybe have some be weekly things. And then what is sporadic. Like there's some shows I have already that are intentionally sporadic. Like the Martin thing, believe it or not, that's a sporadic show because it's all about my stars, temperamental. He's a cat. He's gonna do whatever he wants to do, and there ain't no two ways about it. You can't do nothing about that. But luckily for me, he wants to be an entertainer. He resisted the camera the first few years I knew him. I just always took millions of pictures of him and the other kitties that lived with us. And then when all this stuff started happening and technology evolving and how everybody can make films and videos from their cameras, their phones, sorry. It started that way. But then, of course, when I started messing around on YouTube, I created the Halloweener account to be a virtual workshop studio for my music. It's super cool, all the things you can do. I have a studio here, but it would have required purchasing more things to update the technology, which is money I do not have. I am medically disabled. Everything I do, by the way, is on a shoestring budget. Just so you know. You can do it too. We can all be fabulous on a shoestring budget. This excessive money shit has got to go. Okay. I had this memory trigger, so I wanted to share it. I'm going to be the raw and the real. That's kind of my thing. That's how I live. I was my mother's daughter like that. I started thinking about judgy people and how the people that point the most fingers are usually the ones doing the craziest, weirdest shit behind private doors and stuff. So that's part of my thing of why I don't have shame about my adventures. People try to shame you about the choices you've made in life. And it's weird to do that because I don't know anyone that's had a perfect life. It's not happening. That's not how life works. And I think perfection is boring personally. I like asymmetry a lot. I like improvisation. I like experimental. That's why I am who I am. The avant-garde, the surreal. I've spent my entire life performing under those terms and turning down possibly lucrative music gigs because I would not be allowed to channel those energies. I was going to have to contain myself and just be a cello player, one part in a band. You know, I'm used to running the whole damn band and creating all of the music. I do everything, the promotion, I'm everything. That's why DIY are people that want to do everything. They enjoy it all because it's hard work. You don't do DIY for glamour either or fame and fortune. So, ooh. No. No. All right. I hate that. Okay, this is obviously improv. Can you tell? Oh, they are dicking the shit out of me right now. You bastards. I am not promoting your commercials. I'm just promoting artists and their music. I'm so fucking blind, you guys. Okay. Let the old lady figure out the technology. So I just want to tell a little story real quick. See, I put my glasses down. I've done a lot of things. So I have a freeingness to me right now. I'm a woman with nothing to lose on certain levels. And I've had a lot taken away from me the last 10 years. So I'm the woman with nothing to lose. And when she's a philosopher on top of that, look out. I'm in memoir stage of my life, collecting memories. I had bought a journal last year to start writing. I had a couple books I'm going to write, or I changed that program. I think I want to do a play first. But because of family stuff, unfortunately, I did not see improvement in olive branching with them I talked to one person about it, but yeah, I have to make all those decisions. It really, even if somebody dicks you, it's still not okay to dick them back. Like, the way I've been treated, I'd be within my rights to write about whatever I want. But I don't like people being unhappy, so I try to respect boundaries. So that's why I have to change the book's ideas. So anyway, I put myself in time periods of my life to focus. Like I'll play music and think of people from the time to try to get my mind in that time frame to think about what were people saying then, what was happening then, what did I care about then. And so with all of this, it triggers lots of cool memories. So I was a stripper for a little while. I've done a lot of things. I've also been a janitor. I was a stripper, and then I was a philosophy tutor, and then I delivered pizzas, and then I was a janitor. So I was trying to think of what jobs I had in between stripper and janitor, and that's what it was. So I'm a philosopher, so you go where you can think, where people are going to leave you the hell alone. You do a job they need done, so they pay you so you can eat and pay your bills and not rely on someone else's terms for your survival because you're paying your way. But you get a lot of time to think. So I always had those kind of jobs. But stripping, that to me, I don't get it. Why there's so much and I've enjoyed watching all that cool out as I've gotten older, where stripper clubs and stuff is way more acceptable and less taboo than it was when I was young and doing it. And I didn't do it very long, but it doesn't matter. You guys, I worked 2 goddamn shifts and that's it. And my ass got fired, and it's funny as hell when I tell the story. But I am a stripper in some people's eyes, and I have been stripping and doing all kinds of things their imagination wants to take them to for 50,000 years, even though I only worked 2 shifts in 1987 when I was fucking 18 years old. And shit, I just got out of high school. No, I'm sorry. It was my sophomore year. So yeah, I was 19. So yeah, I'm not even old enough to go drinking or whatever, but there was loopholes. If you weren't 21, you just had to make sure you're in certain areas or whatever. It's just weird. Because society's weird, man. That's a whole other weird thing. Why is it like that? But anyway, so a friend started doing it first. Then a bestie did it. And then she and I and, oh, Jesus. I cannot. I'm trying to work on editing myself. So a lot of my content is behind the scenes of what the creative process is like. So that's why sometimes things get slow paced or whatever. And that's okay if you don't like it. I'm fine with it. You don't have to like my stuff. It's okay. But if you want to talk to me about philosophy, I'm always game for that. But yeah, so anyway, my bestie started doing it, stripping when the nice older lady that in all the alternative community started doing it. And so once the word got out, hey, there's a stripper club. These dudes are paying us to show them we were laughing. I lived with 4 people in a house my sophomore year in Muncie and off campus, but we were all going to Ball State. 2 people were from Ohio. Me and the other bestie were from Indiana, and we were all alternative. Lots of different influences, goth, punk, like REM type stuff. I don't know how to explain. One of my roommates loved them, so I don't know what those people call themselves. I don't know. It's not. You don't have to call yourself. It's not about limiting someone. It's just trying to help somebody understand. Hey, these are the people that have common interests with you. But once she did it and came and told us about it, then my other roommate, who was 2 of us were philosophy majors. The other philosophy major started doing it, and she came and told us how great it was and funny. And we would laugh with her about it. Like, she was all about, what's the big deal? Like, why do guys want to pay me to see my tits? Like, hey, I got some bills to pay. That's fine. It's nothing. That's no big deal. To me, it's not that different than taking a nude picture or something. I don't know what all the shame is about the beautiful human body that God made for all of us. But anyway. So yeah, we laughed about it. We were like, damn, we didn't realize men were hard up like that. Shit. So three of us did it. The fourth girl did not, which is fine. She was awesome in her other awesome ways. But I was the one that got tanked out first. The other two ended up doing it for a while. And then the first person did it really well. She was really good. Like, she went to the big city. And I don't know if the other lady did, but I was out of it by then. That job, I wasn't working with them. I went back to campus. I'd been a dishwasher before that. And then I liked how they paid me more to be a stripper than wash dishes, even though, supposedly one's noble and the other's not. And then I was a philosophy tutor when I went back to the campus for jobs. But they don't give you hours. You only get like 3-hour shifts, if that. Once a week? Are you kidding me? In high school, I was getting up and opening Hardee's where you got to be there at 5:30 in the morning on Saturday to get it all ready to open. Get those biscuits ready, man. I didn't do the biscuits. I was frontline. I got the dining room and stuff together. I'm used to working a lot all the time in high school before I even got out of high school. So that's where stripping appealed to me. It was a better outcome for my efforts. Shit. So, but I didn't make a lot of money, and part of it was I'm not attracted to everybody, and I'm okay with that. I really don't want all of you men to like me, to be quite blunt. I don't want the attention. It creeps me out sometimes because the way some men approach you, like they know you and you owe them, and you don't even know their last name. You never met their mom. What the hell? Martin's telling me to wrap it up. Aren't ya? We need to have our dinner, don't we? Yep, he said yeah. So anyway, it was just funny. Being a stripper was funny as hell. I liked the entertainment part of it. I like going on stage. I like dancing to music on stage. And taking my top off was inconsequential to me. That didn't matter. What embarrassed me and freaked me out was the second half of the job. You had to go around this goddamn bar and go to every table and ask these men, lean over and be all sweet, and, would you like to tip me for my dance? And they tried some weird, creepy things sometimes, and a lot said no, and I had this beautiful lady take me under her wing. It was a nice stripper bar. It was a stripper bar with a heart. Older strippers were nice to us, younger strippers, and really in different cool ways. So one of them was cool to me. She took me under her wing, mentored me, and she was saying, make sure you go to every table, because if you don't, that one table you don't go to, that might be the dude that really liked you. So just don't worry about it. She was so beautiful and nice. And she had a cool act. She put on nurse's uniform and she danced to Bad Medicine. Now, I'm not a Bon Jovi fan, but I appreciate good rockin' ideas and people giving it their all. That's entertainment, not just stripping. She had thought behind it, performance, combining music and vision, sound and vision. And just as a last note, the last dance I ever stripped to was Peekaboo by Susie and the Have a good night. Enjoy the world.